10 years about it. But you know what? Right now, Rainbow7, they got to be mad about how the last 2 games ended. You know you want to see this team step up a little bit. They showed that they had the ability to beat LGD in the group stage. Now, it wasn't the most convincing win. They did have to mount a bit of a comeback to do it. But right now, it seems like LGD is really finding their stride. You already mentioned at the end of the last game, the team is improving. They're fixing the mistakes. This isn't the same sort of helter-skelter stuff that we saw throughout the group stage. And even if Game 1 had a couple of those moments in it, Game 2 appeared to be much more clean.
And all I'm asking for is that the people that directed the last season of Game of Thrones did not write the last game of this series. I just want some action.
You don't want to randomly see one of the coaches go crazy and jump in instead of one of his players or something?
Don't want to see it happen.
That doesn't fit the character arcs, Raz? Well,
I want real character development here.
Well, let's see how the draft development shows up, because so far we've got a switch. It is Rainbow7 playing on the red side for the first time here in this series. They've decided that the blue side plans, they're not good enough. So they want to have that last pick of the draft overall here. Lucian, Shen, and Lilia are all banned away. Now, here's the thing, Raz.
All right,
Ornn is still up. Lord of all meatballs doth preside. Now, if that doesn't get banned by Rainbow7, I fully expect LGD to just pick it.
Yeah, he ain't gonna.
Oh! All right, Nidalee banned away. Ornn is up. Do LGD go for first pick Ornn, or do they let it go over to Rainbow7? I think if Rainbow7 gets Ornn, they have a win condition.
Yeah, the faded Ornn Horn versus probably the Crocodile. Yeah. Crocodile versus, what is he in the lore? A god of some sort? A god of item development.
He's not a scorpion. I never read his lore. I just wish we had a skin where he summoned a semi-truck that went honk. That's about all I know about Ornn's lore, is he's not a truck driver, because I wish he was one.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there for, just put that out there for them, the people making skims out there. It's a good idea. He keeps talking about it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, I'd love to see this happen, and I'd love to see this happen too. The Zac gets hovered every single champ select. I'm not caught up on the memes from the emerging regions. I don't know how much of a meme this is for Rainbow7, but every game that they've played so far, they always hover the Zac. So I'd just love to see it locked in one day. I don't know if there's any chance of that ever happening, but I'd still enjoy seeing it. It's such a rare champion for people to play these days, as Senna is locked in instead. Remember, in game number 2, it was Leza Senna that, when LGD was a couple thousand gold ahead, was actually the richest person on the map. So this pick does have potential for them.
This reminds me of the last game for Rainbow7, where they were having a weak side bot lane with Senna and Nautilus, and they were playing for the top side. The only problem with that was that LGD had counterpick, right? And it was just so difficult for them to get the matchup that they wanted. And even though it allotted to an Aatrox versus a Gnar, the problem was that Ase didn't have the ability to pick the best top laner at that position because of the threat of counterpick.
Yeah.
Now he can do that. So Rainbow7 are in a better position with the strategy that they were trying to go for last game.
All right, we got Peanut on Kindred for the 3rd game in a row. We've already praised him in the past couple. You guys have heard what we've had to say. Really good performances here so far. Jose Diodo with the Graves band out. Remember, they first picked out on blue in games 1 and 2. They aren't on blue this time around. They wanted to ban it away, didn't want to play against it. So instead, it will be Jose Diodo on Lee Sin here in this 3rd game. They're putting it all on the blind monk in what could be their elimination match. And the last pick for LGD before the second part of the bans come through will be Syndra.
Rainbow7 in the past have had a lot of faith in Jose Diodo's Lee Sin. They would have actually, like, not protection comp, but like soup up comps like Senna, Shen, all of these things that you would usually see on a Hecarim or a Kha'Zix, and they'd do it for Jose Diodo's Lee Sin.
Funnel Lee Sin.
And you'd be like,
solo queue near you.
Yeah, and you'd be like, this is interesting. Let's see how it pans out. I'm usually not a fan, but I've seen insane Lee Sin players like Clid before. Like, if you have that player that you know can consistently hit those Warthog kicks, those big moments in a game, then yeah, why not? So let's see what he ends up going for. It's just a safe blind pick. Actually, no, it's not a blind pick. They knew that they were going into the pick there, the Kindred for Peanut.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, it's just a pick that Jose Diodo is comfortable with.
Well, hey, if you're in a potential elimination game at Worlds trying to earn your spot on the main group stage, comfort is never a bad thing. Going for one of those champions that you just know inside and out. Looking at the bans in the second phase here. 3 supports. It's Rakan, it's Bard, it's Braum. Oh my god.
There it is!
It's Kayle in the top lane against Ornn. Everybody in the chat, get your 1 out of 16, 2 out of 16 spam ready because they're putting LGD on the timer.
Started pointing at the clock at every level that comes through. This is what they were trying to aim for. They know what matchup they're into, and as the game goes on, it just becomes unplayable for the Ornn inside lane. The only concern is the early levels for Kale, and Peanut is going to try and attack that. He has been incredibly successful at doing it in the past 2 games, attacking the strength of Rainbow7's composition. Expect Ase to be in a 2v2 position that is not favorable to him early.
Well, the final pick of the draft for LGD is Leona. So it's a Leona Jhin bottom lane here for this squad yet again. Had success with it in game number 2. Rocking it again here in game number 3. The composition from LGD is very scary. Now, Fresh, here's an interesting option here. Lots of ability to sort of stop Leona from doing what she wants to do. You can try to flay her away when she looks to engage. Or we're going for the set instead.
All right. You picked his support counter pick in the set. So we're going to have Set, Senna, bot side. At the very beginning of the year, you were seeing fasting Senna for Set. In this case, it's just going to be an outright aggressive support running at you. And it's going to make this bot lane actually rather contentious, really scrappy.
That makes it fun, man.
I love seeing that. It's just going to be interesting to see what the early game strategy is for Jose Deodo. Does he go to the bot side early and try to find early summoners on Mark and Kramer like Peanut did in game 1? That's the strategy he can go for. The only worry is that leaves Kale vulnerable up top side. It's really weird when you see the problem that Kale has as a champion is that she's the type of top laner that is usually really weak, that you don't want to play with early. You know, a 2v2 is usually unfavorable for her, but you still need to kind of play towards topside a little bit, hover for her, so when she has a large wave that she can crash it safely so she can just be more self-sufficient. So there might be a window there for LGD to attack early if they're pathing from bot to top. These are the things that I really want to see because the early game planning has been there from LGD side.
Kale's one of those...
He's happy. Look at him.
Yeah.
I did my job.
All right, well, let's see if that job was good enough, because if there is any time to step up for Rainbow7, it is now. We mentioned the reverse sweep dream coming true for this squad back in their domestic final to earn their spot here. They would now have to pull off that same dream against the 4th seed from China, which, remember, for the past 2 years has been the best region in the world. That would be quite a statement to make here, Raz.
Yeah, it would. And I just can't kind of get away from what I just saw, which was Coach Skin from Rainbow7 side, feeling accomplished, happy. Everything we've heard about him in the past has been talking about the mental resilience that they had. Looks like he doesn't have any fear in the world.
That's what I want to see. You've got to be able to keep it cool, keep it collected, keep it calm in these do or die moments. Going up against LGD, trying to find that win, trying to find some sort of a foothold here in this best of 5 that is slowly but surely creeping away from them. For Rainbow7, man, this squad trying to take down LGD, which, remember, LGD was the team that coming into the play-ins, everybody was like, oh yeah, LGD, we're expecting them to full-on smash, like they're going to get the free promo, won't even matter, nothing to it but to do it, walk in, walk out, get paid. Didn't happen like that. Things were rough early on. Remember, in the one time these teams played against each other in group stage, it was looking good for LGD, but then Rainbow7, through some good mid-game objective fights, found their way back in and secured the win. So we know that this team can beat LGD. It's just, have they managed to step up enough after these first couple of games? Have they made the right changes? Are they ready to go? The Kale, man, Kale is one of those champions. I just described Kale as a diva. The champion cannot be side stage. She must be the center of attention, because if not, something bad's gonna happen. Either she's gonna get completely shut down and she's a caster minion, or if the enemy team isn't paying enough attention to her, free scaling, free 16, free game.
And it's just such an easy way to play the game if she ends up getting that free scaling. That she never has to join a team fight. She can, and she's really oppressive when that's the case. But Ornn feels pressured if nothing is done early to get him or anyone else on the team an advantage. And if this game can go long, I mean, we haven't been seeing really long games here. LGD has been wrapping these ones up pretty quickly. But if it can go long, that is the power that Rainbow7 are going to be playing to. Just a small thing to note of. I love the fact that
what you got?
Flashing emotes coming into the game. We saw a Dominus emote from Mark, so they're just kind of shining teams that they've been on in the past or the teams that they're currently on, just kind of feeling themselves. I like that kind of like vibe right now LGD's feeling on top of the world.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. One thing I also do want to point out here real quick, a lot of the time when you see Ornn, particularly if he's the first pick in a draft, there will be a Braum or a Yasuo or something against him to shut down the ulti. Because Braum was banned in the Champion Select this game, there's nothing to shut that down. So Ase's ultis will be the only thing to potentially stop the massive engage from the Ornn.
Just to point out, I did mention Fasting Senna within the draft. I just didn't think that was going to be the case. We haven't seen it in so long. We're seeing it this game.
Yeah. Fasting Senna, the Doran shield for Shadow's set means he will be picking up the farm here in the bottom lane. Leza's just going to be grabbing the souls, applying poke with the sickle whenever he can. This is interesting. It's been a while since I've seen this too, my friend.
Yeah, and just so people are kind of caught back up as Ornn has given them hands.
Them hands,
just slapping them. Is the fact that, yeah, you do go Grasp the Undying because you can naturally and easily proc it. You can stack that up within the lane, get extra HP. Your build usually goes towards Black Cleaver into Frozen Heart. So once you get the Frozen Heart, then you'll have that slow. The Senna...
Frozen Mallet?
Oh, yeah, Frozen Mallet. Yeah, Frozen Mallet.
Okay, I'm just making sure there wasn't a new tech that came out because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer. You want the Frozen Mallet. And so it just makes it so as a support that isn't getting many resources in the game, you are just insanely strong front to back. So it's nice to see this from Rainbow7 because I haven't seen a Fasting Senna for so long.
Oh man, here comes the dive onto the Kayle immediately at level 2. They need one more auto attack to do it. Game 1 bot lane, Game 2 mid lane, Game 3 top lane. Peanut is a serial killer in this series, constantly getting involved for the first blood.
All right, let's see if he can answer back. Quick flash from Shea. Does not want to trade HP, but to your point, hell yes. Peanut has been stellar this series, and he's always been attacking what is the identity of Rainbow7's compositions, or the strength of such. So a huge wave that was crashing into his turret. He ends up dying, has to lose TP going back topside, and now he's just going to be under threat from Peanut. He's not leaving that top side of the map.
Very well done by the jungler of LGD here. Jose Diodo picking up the crab in the bottom side river, so one crab for one crab here between these two junglers. As let's see if Jose can make something happen in bottom lane. He is standing on top of a ward, so I don't think LGD is going to give him the opportunity to really make anything happen here. Remember, since you have Senna and Set, they don't have the biggest long-range engage, but they're immediately getting the flash out of the enemy Senna. And that means that Mark now has to flash in return, getting back underneath the safety of his own turret. So 1 for 1 on the summoner spells here in the bottom lane.
They're just playing on a tightrope, Mark and Kramer.
I love it.
Because they have that vision of him, and they recognize, okay, Lee Sin's starting to walk away. Now we can just punish Senna's positioning. And he's going to start looking for Jose Diodo. There's no one that's necessarily coming to their aid, recognizing that Peanut is topside. Mark and Kramer are just confident they can hold it on their own.
I was going to say, Peanut's nowhere nearby, so if they try to flex on the Lee Sin, that does make life a little bit more difficult. You can see Peanut moving to the enemy chicken camp, stealing that one away, grabbing the mark on that, meaning he's going to be stacking that passive up rather quickly. And that's one thing you always got to be worried about, right? Like sometimes we see junglers trade off quadrants. Like you take my red quadrant, I take your red quadrant, whatever, we both still get the same camps.
Yeah.
Not the same story when Kindred is in the game, because now Kindred is building up those marks. Remember, 4 is the sweet spot for that first range upgrade. Makes you feel a lot better in the team fights if you can have that one by the time the mid game rolls around. And for Peanut, stacking these just feels great.
And throughout the series, he's had such a high win rate on this champion. And before I get to that point,
that
Kramer
was not the right timing on the cleanse, my friend. Tries to go for the deadly flourish, but only finds a little bit of damage. Won't get the CC coupled along with it. So, bit of a misexecution there on the cleanse.
Yeah, I might need Leona to hover him on this wave. It's not too big, so he should be fine. Thank God he didn't have to burn Flash without changing the story of bot lane. Might need a little bit more attention from Peanut, but he stays safe. Man, I mean, this is more than just a tightrope. They're just falling.
That was one of the America's Funniest Home Videos tightropes where you slip on the thing and then just fall on it. So, fortunately for him, the cooldown of cleanse isn't as long as some other summoner spells, so it should be back up here before too much longer. But speaking of being back up here, The name of the game is Peanut, my friend, and the name of the game is also Kale's got no level 6 and Ornn does. If they can properly land the initiation from the Ornn, he's building himself an extra item just to make sure he's ready here. Gets interrupted on that. Looks like here, I like the cull on the Ornn too. Not the best stat profile for him as a champion, but he still just wants to get the extra value out of the lane, knowing how free it is playing against a Kale. Another camp steal coming out there for Peanut, taking the large Krug away from Jose Diodo. But now that Jose is back here in the top side, they're not as confident going for the dive onto the Kale.
Yeah, I think they botched it a little bit because they could have done it on the wave in which Longsing was just forging an item.
Yep.
He actually didn't need to do so. I thought that was a great window. As you're correct. I mean, level 6 to Longsing and level 5. And it's with no TP on the Kale as well. Not only do you are you just mostly vulnerable, but you lose the entire wave and a half.
I thought it was a bait, honestly. I thought that building the item was a bait to make Kale walk up and slap you, and then as soon as she slaps, you summon the Ornn Horn and you go in and the dive happens.
Yep.
But apparently, he just really wanted the Bomby Cinder, so not what we got, as Peanut is in the bottom side here, clearing out his own red, goes back to his own Krug. Still level 5 here on the Kindred, does have a level advantage, or no, does not have a level advantage, excuse me, has a very small farm advantage over his opponent in Jose Diodo down here, but comparing the farm in bottom lane, very, very close between the two sides here. So now the engage comes through from Mark, looking to see what sort of damage they can set up onto the Rainbow7 duo, but the disengage is good enough. The heal from Leza giving him the extra speed to get out before Peanut gets in.
And that's how hard it is usually to gank a Senna lane. Not only is it hard to get a point and click stun by any means, right, because of Senna's W is just going to negate a lot of that, but also just the movement speed. That's just a factor that people don't ultimately take into consideration. It's a good enough movement speed for you to get out of most situations. So incredibly safe. Checking out the replay here and just making sure what ended up happening. I didn't get to see what this is all about.
Oh, okay, just a nice shockwave there, putting some damage down onto Syndra, so nothing to write home about. Nobody died, obviously. Flash wasn't even used by Xie there, but just sort of showing why he had to go home and why the lane's in the state that it is. As Peanut heads back into the top half of the map, now looking to grab this Rift Herald. And this could be something that is used in the top lane as well. Knock down some of those plates, take advantage of the fact that Kale is not that strong still. She has passed level 6, so at least she has the default ranged auto attack now. Will help with that farming a little bit, make sure she doesn't fall too far behind. But still not feeling great as a champion yet. Really wants to hit that level 11 before she feels relevant.
Yeah, the key is that she's now can self-sustain throughout her lane. She doesn't need her hand to be held by a jungler by any means. But Jose Diodo and the rest of the squad needs to just trade sides, and LGD are keeping eyes on them, just making sure if this goes on for too long, they can fight this.
The call is for the Drake. Jose Diodo is able to secure it, but now the fight is breaking out. Peanut flashes over the wall. He's kicked out of his own Lamb's Respite. Jose Diodo with the ultimate, with the displacement. This is why you must respect abilities that knock you around when you're playing Kindred. The ulti does nothing. Very well done by Rainbow7.
Yeah, one of the few champions that really can disorient the Kindred. That was just really beautifully played from Jose Diodo. And he let his team know that he was going to do it too. Like, they were coordinated, recognizing they could just burst him down before he hopped right back into his ultimate.
Excellent stuff from Rainbow7, making sure that the rest of the team was hovering around close enough for that to be a play that they come out on top of. Xie returning some damage here on the mid lane. All right, we got a fight breaking out. Apparently, we don't get to see that.
I want to see it!
Watch a second replay of it. I did too. It's not going to happen. Now we got the replay showing up here. Peanut gets yeeted right out of the middle of that thing. Yeet and delete. 1, 2, 3.
He's dead!
As he's dead. Yep, we missed out on that kill. Don't worry, we're going to be going back to a replay of that one. Just keeping it rolling, baby. Just keeping it rolling.
Show business, man.
Is on the gas pedal.
It's not like we just didn't see the play beforehand. I didn't want to see that replay.
We are going forward. And that is the only direction we are going. Don't matter if there ain't no dang road.
You take the wheels, Captain.
All right. We'll get a replay of it, I'm sure. We'll see exactly what happened there in that mid lane, but it is
hopefully not at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's in the bottom right. Okay,
I
got a cast for the smaller size replay here. Shockwave comes through. Now the pursuit is there. Peanut showing up, looking like he might be able to protect him, but oh no, here comes Kale, and that's the important part. The money is on the top laner, as what is this, my friend? We've got Shelly summoned up, making a surprise visit. It's Peanut and Longsing looking to take down the remainder of this turret, and there you go. Perfect use of Rift Herald, getting the charge off on the last 2 plates, and with the first turret down and all 5 plates about it, giving them bonus gold. That is so much money. in the pockets of LGD here. They even get off the second headbutt from Shelly onto the tier 2 turret, putting some meaningful damage on that for later.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, Ase right now is kind of just being taken advantage of. And even though Rainbow7 are sending members just in case he gets dove, it's not as if LGD are playing for him anymore. They're not looking for the kill. They're just trying to get as much gold as possible and get Longsing ahead so he doesn't have to be in that lane state anymore. So now, he already got himself some items, you know?
Yep.
Nice little Sunfire cape. Can play towards the next objective, though it's going to take a little while longer, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's just going to be hard if Rainbow7 lose the fight. But take a look at this.
Oh, hi, Mark. Let's see if the teleport can save him. Jose Diodo needs a little bit more damage. Senna ulti won't find him, but the kick will. Lee Sin doing that smooth criminal type of engage, as now they're looking to find some more onto Xie. Mid laner in trouble. This is not Xie's game. That Lamb's Respite didn't do a damn thing. Peanuts trying to run all the way away, but he's stuck in a 1v5, which is exactly where Rainbow7 wants him. Game 3 is looking so different from the first two.
There we go. Rainbow7 rallying together. And it was just one fight that we needed to see Rainbow7 either be put in the dirt or to be coming back. And it seems like they found another pick here. Kramer is going to be the next guy.
Shadow with the slam into the wall. Needs a little bit more follow-up here. Flashes away from the root of the Senna. But now the curtain call is opened up. Let's see if they can protect him. It's saving Private Set. With the flank from Xie, puts him in a really weird spot as he's going to be chased out. What are you doing, man? Alone just tosses the ball at him, picks up another free kill. 0-3-0 this game for Xie. He tries to show up to stop his opponents from escaping, to facilitate Jin getting a kill, but man, that backfired.
A little disheveled. Like, the last minute and a half, it feels, has just been LGD blundering a few plays.
That is a not good look for Xie in the mid lane. He used his teleport to go down into the bottom lane and find himself back with a black and white screen here yet again. Let's watch the replay as Mark gets jumped on.
Yeah, so it just turns into a bit of a domino effect where they want to save Mark, or at least try something on the back half of it, so Longsing responds with an ultimate, and TPing to the play. It's just great that the flash comes in from Senna because they found that target in CA. So that was his first death, and they're able to just take them down like lemmings.
Oh no, the lemmings.
LGD's gotta stop jumping off that cliff, I'm just saying.
Well, right now, Alone is hard mid-diffing this game. He is 2-0-4 on the Orianna. He has a very modest CS lead. Full kill participation against his opponent, who is half of LGD's deaths. It is absolutely just not comparable between these two at this point in the game. 2-0-3 for Jose Diodo's Lee Sin as well. We gave Peanut a lot of props for his early presence in games 1 and 2, and also in this game, so I want to make sure we are crediting Jose Diodo for a very solid performance here in game number 3 as well. Getting a lot done on this Lee Sin, and oh my goodness, Raz, look at the inventory. Lethality. This is a build that is very heaven or hell, because it puts you in a spot where you're super squishy when you go in.
That's true.
Even if he's only stopping for Umbral Glaive and then he'll go for tankier itemization after that, it's still an opportunity for LGD to potentially punish him if things go awry. Now the Drake's going to be secured. Now Xie moving forward. A shockwave onto 2. Beautiful placement on that, but it will not matter. Mark is underneath the turret and the kill comes through. Mark going into the stasis, stopping the damage coming out there, but in the bottom side, Kramer is kicked into his own demise. Mid lane TP shows up to prevent the push from going any further. It's blood for blood across the map.
This is turning into a Lee Sin highlight reel. Even with LGD finding a coordinated play through mid lane to get the kill on towards Leza, Jose Diodo found a lonely Kramer in the bot lane.
He's making it happen, man. I said that it's a heaven or hell type of thing when you have the lethality on Lee Sin, and you just got to see the heaven version where he shows up, finds an isolated, squishy target.
Get that tower goal.
And just 100 to zeros and pick up that money. You're the carry now, my friend. Don't worry about anybody else. This is one of those solo queue games where you walk away with an orange KDA at the end of it. Just absolutely smurfing all over the Rift. Rainbow7 with about a 700 gold lead. 1-to-1 turret, 1-to-1 Drake. LGD looking for the Rift Herald here. It's down to about 1/4 HP. Rainbow7 has showed up. They're looking to fight. Rift Herald still going to be contested here. Secured by Peanut. Sticking around, looking to take the eye. Does manage to pick it up. LGD backs away.
Yeah, they had to head on out of there because it was Jose Diodo coming in from Snake Way, from Snake Road, just coming to help in the fight. So LGD recognized they were on a timer.
Yeah, you got to get the hell out of town when that's coming in. Also, let's go ahead and check up on our favorite Angel here in the top lane, because what is that? That's a level 11 on the Kayle. We're now at the point where Kayle is a real champion. Once we hit level 16, Kayle's going to be in some what the hell is Kayle type of territory. But for the next 5 levels, she's at least relevant. She has the Gunblade completed. This item is incredibly effective on this champion, makes her trading pattern very difficult to deal with for somebody like the Ornn, who has super limited mobility. You can see the total gold in the game, though. It is Longxing, who's ahead 300 to the next closest person, which is Jose Diodo. Now, also recall the levels. For Ornn, it's all about hitting level 13. That's when he's able to put his upgrades on himself. We know that he's going to be going for the Sunfire Cape and Abyssal Mass combo, and for anybody who's never heard the stats on it before, those 2 items getting their free Ornn upgrades is over 3,000, not a typo, 3,000 golds worth of free stats.
Insane. My only concern here is that while that's the case, and all of the gold being on Longxing is because of how Peanut was heavily playing towards that side of the map, putting Rift Herald there, getting him all the plates, all of these things that made Longxing so rich. How is he going to pay it forward to the rest of the team is my question. Especially if he's in a static lane where the sustain's there for Ase. CA, you're being hunted right now.
That was concerning.
Edge of Night pick up there for Jose Diodo. Which
Really like this.
Yeah, I love it. It's a nice kind of like halfway between defensive and offensive. He's just going to blow up anyone that he ends up seeing. And they were looking at Peanut just a little bit over there.
Yeah, I really like the in terms of lethality items, that's the one that I would want to see on a Lee Sin. Just going for the pure lethality items that have no defensive components to them feels so risky when he dives in, because he's pretty much guaranteed to be killed in return. And when you're 3-0-3 and have that big bounty on your head, you don't want to be trading 1-for-1 like that, right? So, super big fan of this itemization choice. Really like it here. Next, Drake not spawning for another 2 minutes. Still about a 1,000 gold lead here for Rainbow7, and considering they have this kill advantage of 7-2, you want to see them translate the future kills they find into more gold, into objectives after the fact, and really start to take over this game. Now the Senna getting closer to that Frozen Mallet completion, which honestly really changes things up for her. Makes it so much easier to set up her own plays. You get the slowdown, you're able to more easily set it up for your own follow-up CC after the fact. And the rest of the team can also follow up on that very easily. We've already seen Alone hit some big shockwaves this game, making sure that he's hitting multiple enemy players with it, outplaying Xie with it in the mid lane a couple of different times.
Yep.
The gold graph, interesting, because for the first 14 minutes or so, things look just fine for LGD, but then things have since shifted, and they haven't gone back to LGD's favor just yet. So Jose Diodo finds Peanut in the mid lane, but Peanut is able to defend himself here in the 1v1.
So I think this is the first time. Ooh.
That was a nice cue, but he can't follow it off.
Yeah, it's the first time I feel like that LGD have actually found themselves in a deficit at the first 15 minutes, and it's against a comp that outscales them pretty heavily. With both the Orianna, Senna set, and Kayle, they should just be happy trading. I mean, well, LGD shouldn't be happy trading. Rainbow7 for sure should be. And just take a look at how close Ase is towards the Nashor's Tooth. That being said, they're 5-manning through mid just because they know that they'll be able to get control through mid. If you're just seeing 5-man from LGD versus Rainbow7, Rainbow7 just have the range advantage. So it's going to be hard for LGD to actually do anything. At this point, you either concede completely or you just outright fight. Oh. Looks like they're doing it right now.
Here it is. Longxing. Oh, he's going to be interrupted. That was beautiful coming out from the set. Shadow makes sure that the Ornhorn's not able to be fired back, but he pays for it with his own life. It is a 1-for-0 so far. The sacrifice made by Shadow. He knows he has to put himself in a bad spot to save his teammates. Longxing still tanking here on the front lines. Drake is alive. Senna off the side. Deadly Flourish finding the mark. Xie not quite able to follow up with enough damage to kill him off there. Mark down to 300 HP. Very much dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Here for this Leona. Jose Diodo still alive. Has flash, has ulti. LGD must be respectful of this, and the Drake is being started by Rainbow7 and Jose Diodo. Even though it was Shadow the only person who died in this fight, it is Drake going the way of Rainbow7.
It's crazy, isn't it? And then all of it because Mark already used his ultimate on towards the Orianna and nothing was followed up on. It was just a 30% HP. Mark, without an ultimate, at that point it might as well be a 4v4. And Rainbow7 had the scaling and the range advantage. They want to take that fight.
Rainbow7 get the Drake, but LGD do get the mid lane tier 1 turret in return, as Alone ends up face checking into Peanut here. The This Kindred might be able to do enough to take him down. Flashing away from the shockwave, but now the follow-up coming out from the Lee Sin, and Jose Diodo makes it a trade. Now where's the fight going to go afterwards? Jose Diodo in some trouble here. Mark looking to go forward with the Zenith Blade, but now Rainbow7's calling in some more reinforcements. Off to the side comes Ase on the Kale. Level 13. 13 down, 3 to go, Raz. He is getting closer and closer to the end game.
Yeah, he probably would have much rather have stayed topside, but he wanted to help a brother out, thinking that Jose Diodo needed some aid there. But man, Jose Diodo is playing so sick this game. Like, it's insane to see how well he's able to execute to get that kill on Peanut. Oh my God,
just yet. Shie potentially looking at his 4th death of the game. He's almost out of mana. He flashes around. He looks for the outplay. Where is it? There it is. Shie getting himself a redemption kill and taking down Jose Diodo.
Yeah, had to expend the ultimate, the outplay button with his flash. It feels bad if you're just smashing your keyboard with intricate buttons if you're the Lee Sin, while Shie is just like, nah, just stop it, please.
Yeah, hey. If you have a face and an R key, you can kill somebody with Syndra.
Boom.
The champion can delete people off of Summoner's Rift. More lethality in Jose Diodo's inventory. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about lethality Lee Sin. If you go down this road, you are very punishable if you make even a slight mistake. The slight mistake there was trying to kill off the Syndra, who, yeah, he's been having a bad game so far. But the thing is, man, he's still Syndra. He can still press R to win. And now you can see Shie's point of view.
He was just trying to get into the boutique. And he was just waiting for the Q from the Lee Sin, and now he gets the kill. I mean, it was actually just off cooldown, too.
That's it. That's literally all there is to it. He needed to wait for 3 mana for the ulti, so that was there was the slight delay between the Q and the R. But Syndra getting that money, catching himself back up into the game. LGD have a 2,000 gold lead. It just looks like things have been going the way of Rainbow7, but in reality, LGD, they've got themselves some farm leads. They've got themselves a good footing in this game, and now they're looking for Alone, who is unfortunately alone. Peanut shows up from the flank, looking to provide the extra damage to finish him off. Mark is on the mark, and there he goes. The shockwave defensively trying to find something back on a Peanut, but it will not work. Now Kramer's in some danger, getting himself away with the cleanse, staying alive, trying to get away from the set in the face breaker, the playmaker. A 4-man defensive position from Rainbow7 in the mid lane means LGD won't find anything else here. Shie on the side. This guy seems a little bit angry now, Mr. Razzleplasm. He got bullied around. He got smacked in the early game, but he seems to be finding his groove here now 20 minutes into this game.
Yeah, it's definitely some Hulk energy. After mistakes that he made himself, but also like recognizing that Rainbow7 are just trying to smurf on them, he's been playing really well. And in fact, I think more of so LGD have just been making really smart decisions. Rainbow7 have not been playing a well-coordinated game, just like the best example being Orianna so far up in topside, when they had no vision of where LGD was in their own jungle and on mid lane. And if you don't see that many people, just wait until mid lane gets shoved out. That's all you really need.
You got to assume the worst. And speaking of the worst, Shie is setting up a trap right
Long
now.
way around.
Look at all these orbs. He's got blue buff. He can just sit here and keep spawning these stupid orbs till the end of time. Look at how slow his mana bar is going. Y'all could go get a coffee, read a book, start a hobby, master that hobby, whatever you want to do. By the time you're back, he still won't even be halfway out of mana. Okay, he decides to finally give it up, walk back now. It's 45 seconds until the next Drake spawns. They don't want to allow Rainbow7 to keep on stacking these. Now, granted, it is a Cloud Soul, which is usually considered the least important among the souls. But they still don't want to just keep giving those away for free here. Also, considering just the base Cloud Souls do lower ultimate cooldowns, when you're up against something like a Kale, that's a pretty big deal. And LGD are hanging around the Baron pit.
Yeah, they might just end up going for a sneak here, but they recognize Rainbow7. Yeah, he had to ulti just to check it. He didn't know if they were on the objective or not.
Vision ulti from the Senna just to make sure. Ends up sort of thwarting LGD's plan to set a trap. But who needs to set the trap when you're able to make the engage? Now it's Shadow in the middle of 5. He's going to be kept alive there by the KL ulti, but now he's using the shield from the Haymaker. Shut down onto Shie. More damage coming in, looking to find some sort of a retaliation. Ase is down. Long Shing's tanking up everybody. That's the power of the Ornn. Beautiful shot from Kramer's Jhin to equalize that fight, make it so they're doing just a little bit better now. Leza running away, trying to escape from Peanut and Long Shing. This Kindred is fast chasing him down. Applies the slow, and Mark's coming over the wall there with the blast cone. Longshing just trying to block off the escape route. Leza wants to get away from this one, maybe try to find some sort of a way out, but there is none, my friends. Peanut picks up the kill, and LGD take the fight.
That's a pretty delayed kill too, which means Rainbow7 can't contest for Vision for a very long time. Once LGD ends up picking up this dragon, it's going to be hard for Rainbow7 to even turn their gaze towards Baron for a little bit. So LGD being able to pick up that fight, very well done. And even kind of going down to the minutia of, yeah, well, now your AD carry is gone, so when we come back from base, we can still hold the vision that we have on the map. But take a look at this, which is, you know, no ulti from Leza. And then when Set goes in, he actually eats the full ulti from Ase. And Ase goes way too close in, fantastic Leona ultimate, and they're able to assassinate the Kayle so quickly into the fight. Guns down the Orianna at the end.
Oh, it was such a good shot to take the Ori out of the picture and make sure both solo laners were gone. Damage dealt in the last fight. Kramer topping the charts, and Longshing right behind him. Just Ornn things, as once again, the set is in some trouble. Shadow is toast. Kramer is on a killing spree. Ase is flashing away. The Kayle ult is down. The enemy bot lane carry... The worst part about fasting Sentinels, I don't know what to call him. Are they a bot lane carry? Is he a meatball? Either way, okay, off the screen, Ase's dead. Now we got a whole lot of problems for the side of Rainbow7. Peanut's trying to get away here from the Lee Sin. Has to respect the fact that the kick's still ready to go, and there it is. He wanted to save the Lamb's respite to see if he could outplay the kick with it, but it does not matter. Jose Diodo trying to keep this team alive. Just performing CPR on these boys. That could have been a game-ending situation where because you lost both your Set and your Kayle, the Baron goes over, but now the enemy jungler's dead, so at least they have that little bit of security now, continuing to chase Jose Diodo. Remember, he's got no kick. He's got no real disengage. Kramer's spinning the gun around. Where's it going to go, man? You just got to walk up and pull the trigger. Quick, quick. Boom! Rampage for Kramer.
I saw it in his brain, too. He wanted to get the kick on, the Q on towards the Leona so he can buy a little bit more time. He is trying his hardest. His back has to be broken by the end of this one.
I hope the man's got a good chiropractor, because there's going to be a lot of work required after this performance. 5-2-3 here on the Lee Sin. Needs to get back on the map as soon as possible here for his team. Let's take another look at how this fight started top.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the full context of why they were so far up top to begin with, but like at this stage, it's already over. I'm not a fan with the 2 Kayle ultimates in a row that are just being expended on the Set who is bound to die. I would like for it to be used on the carries that they have. But now they got to play for this Baron, and it's, just goes over.
I like the Shockwave attempt to steal it. I don't like the fact that he has to die for that afterwards. There comes your CC going through. Now Ase's in danger. Hey, we're talking about ultis that are on a man doomed to die, and Ase will just find himself with a black and white screen again, man. Again. Rainbow7, it was looking like they might have found their footing in this series, but LGD has just turned things around.
And this is great to see. Yeah,
Look at the Ornn.
Messing around right now.
This is the most Ornn thing I have ever seen in my life.
Hit me!
Oh my God, this champion, man. This is what I was saying. You can't just go on red side and leave Ornn open. The champ is ridiculous. His power, his presence, especially if the enemy jungler is going to play around him in the lane early to help make sure that he doesn't have trouble with that Kayle. Now he's got his Warmogs already done. Look at his health. Just filling right on back up. No big deal. Only 4,000 health with 200 of both resistances. Now you guys can kill that, right?
This is how a tank player has fun. It's weird to go into a mind of a top laner sometimes, because if they just enjoy playing tanks, they love taking hurt. Oh, you thought you could kill me, huh?
This is one of those kinds of, I like to play football because I like getting tackled. Just
head coach like, huh? The hell I drafted you for?
For this, coach, it's 5 guys try to dogpile him and he just stands tall. Good golly, Miss Molly. This Ornn, 1-0-9, 10 out of 14 kill participation. That's over 70%, and he's just still going strong. LGD with Baron for another little bit over 1 minute here. Pushing down the bottom lane. Tier 2 is gone. Everybody's wearing purple. It's Longshing in the mid lane providing the 1-4 split. Rainbow7's gonna need themselves a good team fight to find success here. Yeah, the Senna CC finds its way on a long Shing, but how's that matter?
Yeah.
It's an Ornn. He's way too tanky for them to commit to him all the way. He also will regenerate after the fact with the Warmogs. Kramer's putting the auto attacks along with those cannon minions, blessed up with Baron, into this bottom lane inhibitor now, and that one's gone. Deadly Flourish coming out along with the Solar Flare from Leona, and once again, the Kayle ulti is on to Shadow. Big team fight ulti down, now the re-engage is coming through. Ornn looking to knock somebody up into the air, is going to get the flash out of it. Leza not going to die, making sure he stays alive through that one. Long Shing eating some auto attacks on the front line, but it will not matter here too much. Mid lane inhibitor turret is down. Mid lane inhibitor next. Shadow so much in danger when he tries to frontline without that Kayle ulti available. We've seen every single time he tries to go in, he just gets stopped.
It's getting real hard here for Rainbow7. Only thing they can kind of hope for is that LGD just full base, but of course they're not going to do that because they can just pick up Cloud Dragon on the back half.
That would be foolishness.
Exactly.
To full base after you take down both enemy inhibitors and you're feeling stronger and you know Kayle ain't got an ult. Nope.
Don't
Foolishness. LGD will not subscribe to such a school of thought. Instead, they will make sure that they secure themselves that Drake. That is the third Drake of the game for the side of LGD. One away from the soul. But Raz, I'm going to be honest with you, my friend.
Tell me.
I don't think we're going to see it. I don't think this game's lasting another 5 minutes.
It just looks so over, especially when you have two inhibs down. All you really have to do is just 5-man topside. And Rainbow7 were trying their hardest.
Now,
I hate to see it.
And look at the Ornn items. Everybody on the team except for Leona has their Ornn item upgrade. Leona doesn't have an item that can actually be upgraded, which is why she doesn't have hers.
Yeah.
Ornn is level 17, so Long Shing can upgrade it if Leona ever makes that purchase, but honestly, just the power of the items that she has so far is worth more than having one that gets upgraded. So understandable. Let's see if they can make their game-ending push right here. Long Shing and LGD, if they win this game, they go ahead, they secure their spot in the next round of the play-ins bracket, and they send Rainbow7 home. Ase is finally level 16. The Kayle has scaled, but will it be enough? The remaining inhibitor turret is now the target for LGD. Peanut has Kayle marked, just sort of implying his intentions in the upcoming fights as the super minions are taking down that Nexus turret pretty swiftly.
They just need to sit there and wait. Minions will do their job for them. I'm a little afraid because Rainbow7 felt like they weren't really, comfortable of who was actually going to take the wave. They sent 4 people initially, so you need to have 4 people here to at least defend the third inhibitor.
Oh no, Rainbow7.
Don't get triple inhibbed.
It might be time to do or die. I'm sure they would much rather do, but I don't know if it's fully up to them. Shadow's going in. Shadow's alone. Shadow leading the charge. Mark approaching from the side. Here comes the Ornn Horn. 3 knocked up into the air. Call that one a steer right down the lane. And there you go, baby. Hit all them pins. Set him up, knock him down. Kramer's looking for the 4th shot and will not find it. The Angel will lose her wings. Ase tries to clean these guys up, but he's thrown up into the air. He won't get a single kill. Jose Dioto, you can do all you want, but it will not be enough. He goes in, he goes out, he is down. And LGD will 3-0 Rainbow7.
They look great. LGD really turned it around from what was a disheartening start to the play-ins, but a dominant play in this best of 5 versus Rainbow7.
Rainbow7, man, they looked like this might be the game where they start to bring it back. Maybe it was going to be the All Knight's final part 2, where the reverse sweep could be possible.
I was sweating.
But despite Shia's early game mistakes, despite Alone's mid-diff, despite Jose Dioto's pop-off performance, LGD was the superior team here today, and LGD, with a clean sweep of Rainbow7, will move on to play Legacy tomorrow. And the winner of that best of 5 will move on and earn their spot in the main group stage.
Love the fact that after what was a hard-fought series for Rainbow7, still feeling cheered up talking about it, because I thought game